Some websites were never deleted. They were just forgotten, frozen in time, locked away in an archive where time stopped moving entire communities, abandoned overnight. Government pages that still collect your data, forums where the last message simply says, "Help." Tonight, I went digging through the internet's graveyard. If you didn't know, there's a website called the Wayback Machine. It's run by the Internet Archive, and it basically stores old versions of almost every website that has ever existed. You can visit pages from 1998, 2002, even the early days of the internet. Most of it is just outdated junk, but sometimes you find things that feel like they weren't meant to be opened again. So tonight, we're exploring some of the strangest ones I could find. I started with government websites because these are supposed to be official, maintained, secure. But some of them look like they've been abandoned for decades. The layout is broken. Half the images don't load. But strangely, the contact form still works. Which means, if someone filled this out today, where would that information even go? Who's receiving it? Or worse, is anyone? It even lists employee emails. People who probably haven't worked there in 20 years. It feels less like a website and more like a digital building that everyone forgot to lock. And the strange part is, these pages aren't hidden. They're still publicly accessible, still indexed, still reachable, just sitting there, untouched. I found outdated announcements about events that happened decades ago, warnings about software that doesn't even exist anymore, and documents that probably should have been removed years ago. It's like time stopped, but the door never closed. Some pages even link to external resources that no longer exist. Broken connections to websites that disappeared completely. Entire chains of information leading nowhere. And that's when it starts to feel less nostalgic and more unsettling. Because government websites aren't supposed to be forgotten. They're supposed to be maintained, updated, protected. But this feels like someone just walked away and never came back. And if something this official can be left behind, it makes you wonder what else is still out there. Next, I went into old forums. And this is where things got uncomfortable. Forums capture people, their conversations, their jokes, their lives, frozen forever. Dozens of users talking every day, arguing, laughing, sharing stories. And then it stops. No goodbye, no final post, just silence. The last message says, "Is anyone still here?" Nobody ever replied. It feels like walking into a house where the lights are still on, but everyone vanished. What hits you hardest is the stillness. You scroll through years of conversations, and then suddenly nothing. A wall, a void. The internet doesn't announce endings. Things don't conclude. They just stop. And the silence becomes the final post. Before social media, people made personal websites, entire pages about their lives, their thoughts, their fears, like public diaries. They updated it every single day, talking about school, friends, random thoughts, and then one day, the posts just stop. Mid-sentence. The final update says, "Something weird happened tonight. I'll explain, Tom." And that's it. No more updates. Ever. A life paused mid-thought. A moment frozen on a page no one ever finished. And as you scroll through the glittery GIFs and broken links, you start to wonder what happened that night. Why the final sentence never continues. It's strange how a website can feel like a ghost. Not haunted by spirits, but by absence. By the feeling that someone was here every day until suddenly they weren't. Not everything is mysterious. Some of it is just disturbing, like these old get-rich-quick websites. Miracle cures, fake investments, pyramid schemes, pages promising thousands of dollars a day that with zero proof. And the scariest part is, people probably fell for this. These weren't just websites, they ruined real lives, but the deeper you dig, the worse it gets. Some of these pages weren't just scams, they were traps, designed to look friendly, helpful, even trustworthy. Bright colors, smiling stock photos, promises that felt too good to ignore. And behind every flashing banner and every bold claim was someone waiting to take advantage of fear, desperation, or hope. And that's what makes it terrifying. Not the scams themselves, but the fact that countless people walked straight into them with no idea they were being deceived. But sometimes, you don't even know what you're looking at. Just strange folders, random images, empty pages, no explanation, no context, just digital leftovers. It feels like the internet's attic. Boxes no one has opened in 20 years. We think the internet deletes things. That once something's gone, it's gone forever. But that's not true. It's all still here. Every bad website, every forgotten post, every abandoned account, waiting, archived, like ghosts. So if you ever want to explore the past, just be careful what you open. Because sometimes things are buried for a reason. If you want more stories from the darker corners of our world, follow the echo. Subscribe to Dark Myth Lab and step back into the shadows with us.